Hello everybody, this is Dr. Bob DiMaria with another episode of Ask Dr. Bob. Some first time questions which I always enjoy. Why does my daughter and I both get rashes in our armpits when we take a probiotic? And then you also tell me that you used a different type of deodorant. You make your deodorant with coconut oil, baking soda, and cornstarch. Well, we've heard this before. We use different deodorants in our practice, and we have come to find out that if somebody has issues with their pH, their acid and alkaline in their body, they can tend to get a rash wherever they apply their deodorant because what we have found, because of the baking soda. Now, we have a product that we use in our practice. It's not on our website. It's called Rustic Maca Deodorant. Now, what you're going to want to do if you like this product is contact us at customercare@druglessdoctor.com. Please do not call the office. We'd rather have you email. It makes it a little bit easier, and we can make that product available to you. Next question. Hi, Dr. Bob. I was diagnosed with osteoporosis in my spine. I was wondering what your thoughts were on strontium, which happens to be a mineral. And then you have other questions and thoughts about vitamin D3 and K2, etc., etc. So in my book, Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Prevent Surgery, I have a chapter on cataracts. You may say, well, I asked about osteoporosis. I understand that. But the physiology is all basically the same. It's an alteration of calcium, the physiology of calcium in your body. For example, when you're under stress, the pH in your body becomes acid. Your body does everything it can to balance it, so it uses calcium. Guess where it gets the calcium from? Your bone. So we'll see people who are extremely under stress have osteoporosis. Also, I know, especially if you're taking a drug for digestion, you might not have the ability to absorb calcium. We also know hormonally, if a woman does not have a nice balance of estrogen, or if their estrogen tends to go down, because of their adrenal glands being exhausted during menopause, you also could have osteoporosis. And I'm starting to see individuals who are drinking a lot of sparkling water, they've switched from soda to sparkling water, also have a decreased calcium. We want to see 10 parts calcium to 4 parts phosphorus. I would encourage you to buy a chapter from my book, Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Prevent Surgery, the cataract chapter, and you'll learn more. Warm hellos from the west coast of Northern California. Can you explain briefly how to manage this notalgia parasitica? You can say, oh, what is that? Well, what it is, it's a rash, usually on the left side of the mid-back. But it's so fascinating, there's so many different conditions, that back in the 1980s, I learned or discovered the pancreas, when overstimulated, causes left neck and mid-back pain. So what I would encourage all of you that may have this condition, back off sugar and fruit. Do some research on what aggravates and what places a demand on the pancreas. Sugar, sweet fruits, alcohol, cookies, because you may be getting these flare-ups because your pancreas is overworked. And if you wanted to, you could contact us. We actually have a product that we use to support pancreas function. Once again, go to customercare@druglessdoctor.com and send us a note, and we can send you some thoughts on what you could purchase. Last question. I've heard you discuss the Opti-Chem many times in regard to mental health. Can you tell me what it measures and how it relates to mental health markers? I'll just give you one example, because you really want to get the book. There's a great section on lab tests in there that can help any kind of health challenge. If your alkaline phosphatase, which is an enzyme for the liver, is low, and it's also an enzyme for bone, but if it's low, it usually tells me, from my experience, you have a zinc need. Now, we also will look to see if you have white spots on your nails, you have large pores on your face, you might not pass the zinc taste test. You might want to go to our site, druglessdoctor.com, and get the zinc taste test. Great questions. I'm Dr. Bob DiMaria.